Hello, District 303 students. I am going to help you with designing your blog with an Adobe Spark web page. So what you're first going to do, make sure that you have your account set up, and you're going to do that as a teacher slash student when it asks you, and then you're going to use your Google account to sign up. So I'm going to attach that here for you all to do. The next thing I want to show you is just like a sample feature of what a page looks like, and I'm going to kind of go through some of those blogging must-haves as you go through. And what Spark page slash web page does for you is it allows your audience to engage with the material as they go through in a visual manner, but also complemented by the text. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So as I scroll, you notice that this is a half and half split. So this is called the split layout. You definitely want to come up with some great ideas for your blog before you get started, because as you build your content, you want things to kind of layer on top of one another. So having enough content and ideas to keep your blog going in the long term, of course, most of this is for your class, but I think it's really important to have a perspective that is very unique, and make sure that your audience wants to stick around, okay, and keep returning to reading this blog. All right. So always remember, know what your why is and pair it with the Spark Page tool. So we're going to cover some of these ideas as we scroll through. But one of the first things is use catchy and short titles for your posts. And using the header 1 and header 2 will provide text to complement those ideas. So what I mean by that is, if you notice here, this is a header 1 and this is a header 2. So the page is already starting to pop in different manners as we go down. Now, as I start to scroll, this is called a glide show. So I have an image that populates first, and then the text comes along with it. And you get to choose your focal point. So clearly down below is my focal point, but you can pair the text with the images or the video. This is the glide show option, as I stated before. This will help your audience remember key points. So maybe I want to talk about weather, or I want to talk about rage, or the feeling of when a storm comes in and what that feels like. So I'm going to pair that with my text. As I keep going, notice I kept a neutral theme. So I kept a monochromatic item. These text pops allow for major points to be paired with the images that aren't too distracting. So notice that I have this smooth background. I don't have a lot of things going on in the background. Now it's up to you on what you want to choose, but I think your writing is going to speak for itself. So let's not over distract with our images. And then last but not least, the photo library is already built in Adobe Spark. So I'll show you that in just a little bit, but that can really increase your quality and what the end product looks like, and it can save you a lot of time. All right. What do you want the audience to feel when they engage? Okay, so that is up to you to decide. Now, as I keep on going, I also have this grid option, so I can pair a lot of photos together in one grid. That's another visual that you might want to contemplate using. And as I keep moving down, this is another split text. So consistency throughout the branding can offer more to the audience, and it'll eventually lead to that fluidity in your writing. So as you decide on your theme, as you're writing, you can choose a theme from the start, and make sure you keep those photo schemes and colors consistent as well, as I did before. Last but not least, keep in mind when you are creating the experience for your audience to bring forth those connections with different images. So here you'll notice that the focal point, okay, is up here in the front, and the person in the back is not on the focal point. So use that contrast with those images in the text as well. And I love this quote: "Passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you." So choose something for your blog that gets you going in the morning, makes you want to wake up and get started with the day. All right. So what are you waiting for? Let's go ahead and choose this tool, which I think has already been chosen for you, but create your blog and send your first post into the world. And that is so exciting. And I have some other resources here. So you could watch how this gentleman does make a website with Spark. Here's some other special features. And if you need some more tools, You can also head out to my Wakelet board, which is also attached here, so you can see some media design tools as well. All right, it's now up to you to create this journey for others and help them explore what you are passionate about. Another way that we use the gliding technique. The credits will be at the bottom of your page, leaving you to do the hard work of creating the blog post. All right, I'm going to hop out of this so you can take a quick look at how this is set up from the Adobe side. Okay, so here I have here's my blog that I just went through with you, or my overview of what a blog should look like using the Adobe page. So a couple things to keep in mind. You definitely want to use this plus button up at the top every time you create a new blog. You don't want to do that at the bottom. You want your most recent post to be up at the top. So you always start here when you are going to start your post. I always take a quick look at what it looks like in the preview and the present mode. The present mode is what I was just in, and that is what your audience would be in as well. The next thing that you can do is you can add someone in here. So I have added Miss Schiller in here so she can join in and she can edit. And then as I talked about before, the themes, so you can choose your theme to start. That is what I really would press upon you, is to start with a theme, stick with it, and keep on going. All right, so as we move down, so this was a split, so I could actually pop this back and forth depending on how the picture looks and how I want my viewers to read this, okay? And as I keep moving down, you'll notice that there's these little plus buttons in between each, so you can complement them with different items to send them to all other resources with a button. You could add a photo, you could add more text, and you can definitely like mix it up as you go. So here is that gliding slideshow, the glide show as I talked about. You can be adding more text, but notice as I see there's a smaller group of tools here within. So you choose a tool. I'm going to scoot up just a little bit. So you choose a tool from this main tool and then, or a feature, pardon, you can choose a feature from one of these and then they will have some tools within it. As you can see, it's kind of a minimizing and simplifying it as it goes. Okay. If you want to add more along the way, you can. You can even add captions. You can add more. So if I want to edit my grid, I just click into there and I can continue to add. So this is where I was adding from Pixabay. This is the wonderful tool library, or the picture library that I have. And that can take you a long way. So if I wanted to have all of these together, notice that it is nicely snapping the grid with the pictures that I have. And then I just click on save and I move forward. If your images are a little pixelated, you can for sure click on it. You can replace that image with something else. So I could choose, I just chose a snapshot of the theme. Wasn't as clean, but I think you get the gist. I will go ahead and put that in there. Okay. And that's as easy as Adobe Page is. Okay. Some of these other items I have chosen to create the images myself, and that's totally fine too. Okay. So that's it in a nutshell. I hope that you have the best of luck creating your blog. And finally, you will go up here to share, publish, and share that link and send that over to your teacher.